How long do seeds last? Whether you have a handful of family heirlooms or you just want to have high germination rates of all your leftover seed for next season, storing your seeds well will give you peace of mind and will surround you with abundance in years to come. So here are a few things to keep in mind. So first things first, most seeds will last 3 years or more, even in your kitchen cupboard. So I'll give you all of these details, but know that even in your kitchen cupboard, you're likely going to have great germination rates. So you can certainly mastermind it, but you probably don't have to think too hard and you'll be well set. So without further ado, here are the 4 things to keep in mind. Your seeds need to be dry. They need to be cool in terms of temperature. They need to be rodent-proof and in the dark. So let's break those down. They need to be dry, 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 dry. 7% moisture is our goal. And I'll show you a little video too of the bending versus breaking, especially in the larger seeds. That's really obvious and really important to pay attention to. But you want to be sure that your seeds are totally dry, and desiccant packets are awesome for helping you do this. So desiccant packets, I often see them in packages of nori and new shoes and little vitamins. You'll see those little packets of silica, and they're desiccants. They're helping wick excess moisture away. So store those, any of those that you have with your seeds. Awesome. And you want to have the temperature be cool and as cold as possible, but also as stable as possible. So think of a bird, a bat, or pardon, not a bird, a bat or a bear, an animal that truly is hibernating and is going into torpor over the winter. And it's way more dangerous for them to have super cold, but then occasionally warm, and that spike process happening, rather than it just being not as cold as possible, but relatively cold, but very stable. So your seeds are the same way. It's really important for them to be as cold as possible, but the stability is the key part. So even though your kitchen cupboard isn't necessarily cold, it's very stable, especially if your kitchen is on the north side of your house. And so that stability is really key to having seed longevity. You also want to have them be rodent proof. I cannot count how many seeds have been enjoyed by foraging rodents in my life. And this can easily be allayed by putting them in glass or in metal jars, canisters. I find in Tupperware, mice sometimes still can totally get in. So that it totally works, but is definitely second tier. Glass and metal jars and canisters are hands down the best. And if they're in the dark, so much the better, because we are sensitive to UV light, so are most living things, and seeds are living things. So seeds will definitely last longer if they are in the darkness, not exposed to even indirect light. So where is best? Your kitchen cupboard is probably the place in your life because it's dark, it's dry, the temperature is stable. Your basement could also be awesome. Generally, humidity in basements is a thing, but if you have a really nice dry basement, your basement is probably your best bet. And closets can also be great. Just be sure that you're labeling everything well. Freezing is also a possibility. If you're freezing your seeds, be sure that you're putting them in a plastic bag closed with desiccant packets in that plastic bag along with the seeds for at least 3 days before you put them in the freezer. And that way you're getting any excess moisture wicked away into that desiccant packet before you're freezing them, because if you freeze them and they have enough, more than 7% moisture in them, that moisture is going to freeze. That freezing is going to fracture cell walls. But if it's at lower than 7%, and if they're dry enough, freezing is a great way to make seeds last for years and years and years and years. So I hope you take the time to store your seeds well this season, and I hope that they surround you with beauty and abundance, great germination for years to come.